But look, this thing's actually floating. See that, guys? So this whole thing is magnetic in there. Hey, watch the language, man. Oh, we on? All right, guys. So today we're gonna talk about it's pretty much like a review. I don't do a lot of reviews, but I wanted to do this because every once in a while in BMX, we start talking about something new. And for some of you guys are like, oh, what's so new about it? But you know what? For a long time, BMX has been using freewheel or cassette style to propel the bike. And so if you're familiar with the freewheel and the cassette, inside the freewheel and inside the cassette, there are paws and springs. The springs pushes the paw upward, and the paws engages in a ratchet system that propels the hub, and therefore you move forward. So Fly came out with a design which it's not Fly, but Fly adopted it for BMX. I believe SRAM was the one that came out with this system. So it intrigues me enough where, hey, you know what, let's do a little review about it, because you know, I'm a little geek for technology. And here we have it, guys. So this right here is the Profile Mini. It's just like a lot of those. It uses a traditional paw and spring system. Let's check this out. What is the paw and spring system? Yes, guys, I deliberately use this to make you guys salivate over this new Galaxy Rust. Unfortunately, guys, this is the only set that we got because it's such high demand and it's already sold. But you know what? I just go, hey, you know what, Alf? Let's use a little bit of bait. Let's get a lot of the guys coming in here and just, Okay, let's go back to this. So, traditional paw and spring. You guys hear that? You guys are wondering what causes that. So,
she's naked.
Ooh, stop talking dirty to me. There you go, guys. This right here, if you look carefully, there are springs in there. You see that spring collapse and this thing jumps up? So if you could hear it carefully, let's put on the mic. Shh. Can you hear that? So now imagine every single time this thing goes down and it pings back up and it hits that shell. That's what caused the pinging that you hear. The little ratchet pinging that gets all you men aroused, you know? It's that, it's all this. So 4 of these things, when it goes down, it collapses and it pings out all 4, ping, 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 all around this ratchet system. Look at it, look inside. You see that ratchet system, can you see that? So when it goes, it catches, and this thing pushes, propels the hub. And every single time you stop pedaling, the ratchet system collapses it, and it catches it again. This is what inside a freewheel actually look like also. Some companies, they'll have 2, 3, 4. I think the Elite has
6 or 8.
6, right? The Elite has 6. You know, and then some companies go, no, you know, we got more because we'll add an extra teeth on that. Therefore, no, it's still the same. Believe it or not, guys, the more of this there is, the more friction there is. The more friction there is, the slower you will go. But the sound compensates for it. So the coolness makes it worth it. So let's put that down. So what we have here is we have the new Fly Magneto. Guys, again, I am doing this purely out of my love for you guys. All right, Fly's not giving it to us. As a matter of fact, we have yet to even get our hand on an actual one to sell in here because these things are so rare. So, but a customer brought it in and we're like, hey dude, we're gonna do a review on this thing because this thing fancies me. So let's check out what is up with this thing. This thing does not use a paw and spring like this system. But listen to this. So it has a different tune. So if it doesn't have this pawn system, what does it have? Let's check it out. Guys, it's definitely a lot of grease on this thing. More grease than a Chinese, bowl of rice. Take this out. So very similar to the profile if you look at it. But look at this, guys. Look at this. Look what just fell apart. I'll let Alf do some camera play right here with this. So, if you guys look, this type of ratchet system that you have, it's very similar to what this profile hubs that is incorporated into the profile shell. This, they have it on the driver, whereas in the shell, they have a spline system, and that spline system, all it does is it holds this thing in place so it doesn't move. The propulsion comes from this, but where's all the pause and spring? How does it work? Guys, the reason why it's called the Magneto is because this thing is done with magnet. Let me see if I get it to hold. There it is. See? There's a slight magnetic on there that holds it. So this, you see how it's just hovering? So this right here, it's I think it's the negative and this is the positive, or vice versa. But if you guys can see, when I'm going like this, come on. Engage. Commence engagement. Look. That's actually, the magnet is pushing that ring outward. So when the magnet inside this hub is pushing the ring outwards, pushing it against this, but it's constantly pushing against it. So it's making some friction on it constantly. But again, you know what? SRAM uses this. I'm not an engineer. Some ITT nerd did it. So basically it's going like this. So when it goes up and it pushes it out, the ratchet pushes it out, the magnet's constantly keeping it together. So it contact. Instead of this, where it spins and the spring pushes it back. This uses a magnet system. So I really like this design. Well, you might ask, wait, let's step back. Look at this red thing. What is it? It's basically just a bushing. It's the bushing. There's, it's plastic. Look like it's actually 3D printed, which is pretty dope. But that's just a kind of like a bushing bearing system. Nothing more. You do need it in there, but the whole mechanism is the magnet. So why does this thing fascinate me so much? Well, again, SRAM was the one I think that originally originated the whole magnetic ratchet system, but it's different. It's different and it's a little bit smoother. It's a little bit smoother in the system. It's more simplified. You don't have to lose the pause, the springs, and all that. Look, as I pulled it out, it fell apart, and I was like, oh crap, super easy. All you do is drop this one in. Whoa, look at that, guys. Look, you see the magnet? This thing's actually floating. I just saw that. That's pretty cool. I didn't even notice. The magnet system is actually somewhere in there. But look, this thing's actually floating. See that, guys? So this whole thing is magnetic in there. But look how easy it is. All I do is I'm going to go and I'm going to put this in. I'm going to push this one in and it's done. For this one, I have to go. I got to make sure this little washer's in here. You guys always lose this. That little washer is very critical. Put this one in, but I got to be very careful. What I recommend you guys do is put it upside down so the pawn spring doesn't fall. And then slowly turn this while push and it goes in. That was, you know what? That wasn't by design. That went in really easy. Usually I have to go and I have to take a little tweezer and kind of push it in. But it's usually a little bit more hard to put in, where this one pops right in. So that's the one thing I like about it. The weight is actually not that big of a difference compared to this. But on this one, you could actually, the profile one's a little bit lighter because profile's been around longer. They made an aluminum shell, aluminum female sleeve, where this is still chromoly. So I'm pretty sure once they do a aluminum sleeve, it will be a little bit lighter. I believe the driver here, it feels like the driver is aluminum. I don't think the driver is steel. It looks aluminum, but I don't have a little magnet to test, guys. So I'm just gonna say it's aluminum. I could be wrong, but I don't. That's not gonna really do that big of a deal. The profile one, the reason why everybody said, oh, profile's light, is because they do offer a full titanium upgrade, so it does make it lighter, but it's a little bit more complicated. And again, the whole magnetic system is very cool. It's very simple. Then they have the countersink spoke holes for the flange, which is really cool also. I've always been a fan of that. And so when you're grinding and stuff like that, this actually serves as a sort of like a hub guard. You know, some of you guys out there might think, oh, no, it's not. But that's just my opinion, guys. I don't know for a fact if Fly designed it that way, but the way I look at it, that's why they designed it. So I'm really into that. The shape is really cool, really simple, very fundamental. So, again, guys, Fly doesn't pay me for this, so I don't have to butter this thing up or talk fancy about it. I'm just gonna give you guys my honest opinion. Now, it goes for the bad side of this. So, and what I've seen in this, that it could be the bad part, is because it's magnetic. If some of you engineer geeks out there could chime in and kind of help me out with this. The strength of the magnetic pull has a lot to do with also the temperature. If I'm correct, hey.
When it heats up, loses.
Nerdy kid.
When it heats up, it loses its magnetic. It's not as strong. The colder it is, the stronger it is.
Okay, so if the little nerdy Asian kid is right, some of you guys chime in. So the temperature, when it gets hotter, it loses its magnetic pull than when it's colder. So my guess would, if you ride it around here, what is it, like 85 today, versus if you were riding the peak summer of like Palm Spring, would the magnet not pull as good? And would it not react as fast? Also, as you ride more, it actually will warm up, and would it lose its magnetic pull? So it's something for you guys to think about. Also, imagine if you would ride this thing more and there's more wear and tear, and let's say you ride this thing around dirt more, and you guys know there are metal in it. Wouldn't the metal start collecting around here because of the magnetic pull? Because if you guys notice, this thing right here, the magnet around here is pretty strong, where this thing's just floating. So if you're riding a lot around the dirt, wouldn't it start attracting metal into it, and the metal would actually get into this, and it will become almost like a pepper grinder? Something for you to think about. Again, guys, this is just my theory of whatever, Bill Nye, the science guys, ever taught me. So, but then the final thing, my concern is, for this system, when this goes around, if you guys look at the paw, the very tip of the paw, it's constantly scraping along that. It has to. So there is some sort of friction. But for this, if you look at the whole surface area of that ratchet system, the whole surface is constantly, guys, pushing against each other and scraping. So in theory, is it more friction on that? In theory. I mean, it is pretty smooth. When I put it on there, it is pretty smooth. But in actuality, when you're talking about the scraping, there is scraping in there. And so again, when I'm talking about the hot and cold, in a very cold environment, it would force itself through it more. So this hub, because of the magnetic, it would not be consistent. Now, I hope Fly sees this. I think the person that does a lot of the designing of Fly is David, right? So hey, David, if you could chime in and correct some of the stuff I'm saying, I'm not talking bad. I'm just talking the pros and cons. I mean, I'm gonna try to get my hand on one of these things so I can save it for my collection of rare, high-tech BMX stuff. It is in my collection, but with everything there's a flaw. So let's hear what you guys think. Let's see what you guys' input is on this, and if anybody has ever written it. And let me see. So there it is, guys. The Fly Magneto. A little quick review on it. A really cool concept using a magnet system instead of a pause and spring. If you guys want me to review anything else and stuff like that, let me know. I usually don't, because whenever I do any reviews like that, I normally it pisses off some people because I'm like, hey, you know what? You're kind of talking bad about my company. What? So I really don't kind of like that. I don't want to get my feet dirty in that, but I just want to talk about this because I'm so fascinated in it. Okay, guys? So you guys, thumbs up, thumb down. Give me some comments. I really do read a lot of your guys' comment. Subscribe. And guys, little by little, Epic BMX, Alf is including a lot of stuff on because now supplies coming in and stuff like that. For some of you guys, we are shipping, but once it leaves our hand and it gets into the shipper's hand and whatever, that's beyond our control. So you guys just be patient with us, and we appreciate everything, guys. I'm out.
Stay away from electromagnetic thunderstorm.
Oh, like a storm. Oh, that's actually, you know what? Hey, Max. You know what? Alf made a really good point. What? Can you imagine if you're in the middle of a magnetic thunderstorm? You're more likely going to get hit with a high magnetic piece on you. True. Could you imagine that? Like that? Oh, dude. It's definitely going to make you go faster.
Did you also talk about metal dust, too?
He did.
Yeah, I did. That was actually, you know what, guys? That was actually a theory that Max put out there. Dude, the kid's a geek, dude. Forgive him. All right?
Yeah.
So, later, guys.